Hello and welcome to the first episode of Enigma Does Tech. In this show I'll be looking at lots of different bits of tech, some retro tech, some not so retro tech. I'll be looking for suggestions about videos, so please leave some in the comments section down below. Okay, so let's get started. So today we'll be looking at the GTX 970. This is a graphics card that came out in September of 2014 for a price of £259, but you can find it today for under £100. I use this card in my main system with an i5 3570K and a 16 gigs of RAM. So my graphics card has 1664 CUDA cores, 4 gigabytes of GDDR5 VRAM, and is clocked at 1253 MHz. When it came out, it was an absolute beast and could play any game at 1080p on ultra settings, some even at 4K. But that was back in 2014. So let's see how well it holds up today in 2020, 6 years later. Let's go. And please note that all the scores are combined average of a few matches each game, and sorry about the black borders, but my filming of the B-roll wasn't very good. Starting us off, we have Apex Legends. The GTX 970 performed really well at 1080p with all high settings, with an average FPS of 70 to 1% lows of 31 FPS and 0.1% lows of 6 FPS. That was only really during the loading screen in between matches. It performed really well here, but after a while it can get a few slowdowns, which I think to do with more with my CPU. If you like Apex, then you can come check out my Twitch streams. I do it quite often. The link is down in the description. So next up was Fortnite. The GTX 970 found Fortnite a bit more of a struggle when at all at epic settings at 1080p. The average FPS was 72, with 0.1% lows of 3 FPS and 1% lows of 24 FPS. Though the 0.1% lows and 1% lows seem quite bad, that performance is only seen at the start of the game when dropping from the battle pass. Sorry about no MSI afterburn stats though, OBS wasn't liking Fortnite that much. Next up we have Dirt Rally 2.0. Dirt Rally 2.0 was a cakewalk for the 970 at 1080p high settings. It was so good, you could probably play in ultra settings and still be fine. It had an average of 81 FPS, lows of 59 FPS and 0.1% lows of 38. It was a real treat to play. But if you are looking to get the game, I would wait until it was on sale, as it is normally like 50 quid. This is a game made by popular YouTuber Danny. This is a free version on itch.io, but the full version is going to be released on Steam. This is more lightweight systems. So with the GTX 970 at 1080p with ultra settings, it achieved an average of 222 FPS, with 1% lows of 112 FPS, which is only when there was lots of explosions, and 0.1% lows of 12 FPS, which was from the loading screens, because it lowers the FPS when you load in the new level. Then I tested Minecraft. The GTX 970 found Minecraft a walk in the park. Settings were at 1080p with max and Optifine installed. We saw an average of 138 FPS and 1% lows of 48 FPS and 0.1% lows of 20 FPS. This was over a 10-minute benchmark. Those lows, they're from loading in the chunk. As you can see, the GTX 970 isn't even breaking a sweat. So I decided to test it with Shader Song. And now, as you can see in the corner, the 970 is working harder. And we saw around 50 FPS, but there were some stutters from loading in new chunks, but normally pretty good. So overall, the GTX 970 is a bit of a budget king, if it can be found for the right price. It's playing nearly any game on high settings above 60 FPS at 1080p. So if you're looking to put a budget PC together, I highly recommend it. And with that, thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.